I asked you to join me today because I wanted to let you know that I called Supervisor London Breed this morning to congratulate her on her victory and to wish her every success, both personally and professionally, in her new job as mayor of San Francisco. And she was very gracious and said that recognizing the serious challenges facing our beloved city today, that she was going to need all the assistance that she could get in making sure that we're successful in moving our city forward. So it was a very positive conversation. She is a remarkable young woman. She is going to do a very fine job, and we all wish her the best because her success is San Francisco's success. I also wanted to take a moment to thank all of the other candidates in the race. Every one of them brought their own and unique personality, their own life experiences and expertise and accomplishments and thoughts as to how we should best address the challenging issues of homelessness and housing affordability, increase in property crime.
Fuck you, you sexual harasser!
And that's what we love about San Francisco.
I thought that was for me, but anyway.
I don't know why she thought it was for me. But the other candidates in the race really kept me spirited and engaged and motivated. So I want to thank all of them, with a particular shout out to Supervisor Jane Kim, who was a great partner and fierce ally in making sure that the kind of change that we so fervently and passionately believe is necessary in City Hall to be able to benefit San Franciscans in a very profound way. I say thank you to Supervisor Kim. And then to everyone who participated. We had expectations of as few as 35% of eligible voters, of registered voters, voting on Election Day. And that number is closer to 50%. So to all of those who understood the message I was putting out and was inspired by the campaign that we successfully put forward, I want to thank all those voters. And for all the voters who didn't vote for me, but got those numbers up to 50%, I want to thank them too. Because having greater participation in our democratic process, in our election process, that is what will save not only the city and state, but this country. We've got to re-engage people in the democratic process, or what we see happening nationally, just as recently as 2016, is going to be our future. But we see that changing already through the primaries of this year. We've seen great voter participation, candidate participation, and that is all very, very healthy for the system and for the well-being of our country.
Mark, what happened? Was San Francisco ready for a more moderate candidate and wanted to steer away from the more progressive candidate like yourself and Jane Kim?
I know you're asking me that so I can shoot it down, because it's in many ways a too simplistic approach to the results of this election, and also does an injustice to the nuances and complexities of the debate we've just been through. If you want to look at what San Francisco voters were saying on June 5th, if you look at the mayor's race, you got to look awfully closely to see who won. But in the District 8 race, Raphael Mandelman's resounding success. If you look at the important ballot measures from Prop A, which will allow us to be further independent of PG&E and creating our new sustainable energy of the future. If you look at Prop C, which I know is still very close, but looks like it will pass so that we can have affordable and quality child care for all. Proposition E, $12 million in a very distorted fashion by R.J. Reynolds to continue to destroy the health of our next generation because of their attempts to further addict this country to tobacco. Prop F, such an important measure, access to legal counsel for tenants who are at risk of eviction. And of course, Prop G, so that we can raise a little bit of extra money through the parcel tax so our teachers won't be among the lowest paid in the Bay Area and in the state. And then Prop H, which was ill-conceived and ill-fated, was an attempt to undermine our entire commission process and how the municipal government operates through deliberation. That was resoundingly defeated. So if you want my assessment of what voters were thinking on June 5th, I take my hats off to them. They saw through a lot of money and distortion and found what I believe to be the right results.
Mark, what's next for you?
Remembered in history?
Sorry?
How would you like this campaign to be remembered in history, your campaign?
A couple answers to that, Scott.
And Mark, can you look towards the cameras?
Sure. It's just that Scott's got such an attractive being about him. I'm told that this may be, and some of you have probably already done your research, that this is one of, if not the closest electoral decision for mayor of San Francisco in our history. So it might be remembered in a footnote in that fashion, Scott. But otherwise, I think the election will be remembered, as is this time in San Francisco to be remembered, as a very challenging time for us. You know, the old notion of Tale of Two Cities is too cliche at this point, but we have the best and the worst of worlds going on right now. We've got venture capital from around the globe pouring into our little city because of the genius here and the creativity, the innovation, the entrepreneurship. This is the place that people want to put smart money right now because so many people are doing so many exciting things. And that's not just by chance, it's because of public investment in higher education institutions and in other infrastructures that attract the best and the brightest. We have done that, and they have followed to what we have created, and that's why they're here. And at the same time, as with everything, there is a shadow side, and too many people are finding themselves struggling just to stay in the city, that the income and wealth divide, much of it exacerbated by failed decisions going on in Washington, D.C. right now. This tax scam does not help us one bit. But I think the election will be remembered as the time is, a very challenging one.
What's next for you, Mark? What's next for you?
A perfunctory question, to be sure, but I will answer it most sincerely. There's a big and beautiful world out there. I have the rare opportunity to take a moment and get to decide what I want to be when I grow up. My life has been all about community and then public service, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Will you run again?